My name's John Lira. I'm a pastor. I have been since 1981, so that's over 35 years. And the journey of my life has been very much a journey of dealing with depression throughout my lifetime. I did a little bit of family history, and I began to recognize quite soon that there was clinical depression in my family history. I have family members who suffer from depression, and it was an unwelcome guest in my own life, and I, for many years, was trying to battle it just through willpower, and it would kind of ebb and flow. There'd be, when I was younger, there'd be seasons where it would be fine, but then it would kind of hit hard, and so it's been a really long journey with depression in my life, and that's one of the reasons that I finally came to Valentus after a lot of persuading. Largely not so much because I was suspicious of the approach itself, but just that I had tried many other things, and even with medication I found that I was still kind of in that place of perhaps just a malaise of not having much motivation in life. And then one of the things that I've really dealt with in my own life is fatigue, which depression is kind of a symptom of depression is fatigue, and I couldn't overcome it. And so I just got very despairing of always having to deal with this tiredness constantly. I'd wake up in the mornings and I'd never feel refreshed. And that's gone on for over 15, 20 years. You know, just feeling constantly waking up in the morning and just feeling like you got to drag yourself into a new day. It didn't debilitate me. I learned to adjust my lifestyle. But my son, James, suffered from depression as well, and I was finding that very hard to witness as a father. And then he came to the clinic here about a year ago, and I saw almost immediate results in his life, which was quite riveting. I just thought, okay, something's happened to this guy here, and I was watching from the sidelines for some time. I also had another friend, a very good friend, who said, in a gentle sort of way, but just kind of persistent, you should try that sometime. You should try that sometime. So I finally did, and with a little bit of, you know, just not nervousness, but just kind of in the back of my mind thinking, well, here we go again. I don't know if this is going to make a much difference. And after the second day into it, I didn't notice anything. So I was 2 days into it, and I was very close to packing it in. I actually talked to my wife and said, I can't get my head around this. I mean, all I'm doing is listening to some sounds and laying down in this chair, and you know, how can that help? You know, and I had decided that I was going to give it one more day, and that the next night, after that session, the next night I went to sleep, and I woke up at an hour and a half earlier than I normally wake up. And I usually had to wake up with an alarm. This was without an alarm. And I knew right away, okay, something's different here because I'm wide awake. So that was my very first clue that something was beginning to happen. And then I thought, well, maybe it's just one of these freak things, because, you know, and the next morning was the same thing. Next morning, same thing. I started getting more energy, just feeling way more energetic, more motivated. I felt way more alert, and I just started to feel really like a vibrancy returning to my life that I hadn't had for a long time. And so I completed it, and that was late June. I completed my brain training in late June. It's now early September, and I can honestly say there is no doubt in my mind that it has been a vital component in just bringing a real transformation to my life in terms of my concentration, my physical energies, just my general outlook. It's just improved it dramatically. And I would have no hesitation whatsoever to recommend it to anyone, you know. And especially for those in the spiritual community, maybe clergy who might have heard something about this. I just want to be a personal witness to say that this works. It really works. And there's no reason for you to be reticent about recommending it to anybody in your counseling. It's very, very effective. I was in a fog a lot of days. There was times when I just didn't accomplish a whole lot. Post brain training, I have fresh vision. I am looking forward with real anticipation, and I'm able to plan ahead more than I used to with confidence. You know, before it was kind of like just, you know, you'd try and plan ahead, but there was just this sense of, you know, being weighed down by a lot, and so I feel like I've got a real, much more of a wide, broad sweep of the future now that I can engage more constructively and with optimism. And I asked my wife actually just the other day, I said, be honest with me, because she's very analytical. My wife is very analytical, and I said, be honest with me. Have you noticed a difference in me since I've done the brain training? And she said, yes, I have. And so, but you can't argue with a person that has an experience. People could tell me it doesn't work, but I know it works because I have personally gone through it, and I see the difference in my life. So it is worth the investment. There's no question.